Hi, welcome to Jiva Yoga Live. I'm Mackenzie, and today we are going to talk about Kapalabhati breathing. Hello, if you're looking for more information about yoga and pranayama, make sure you hit subscribe. Today we are going to talk about Kapalabhati Pranayama, or skull shining breath. So Kapalabhati is a technique that can be used to both energize and heat the body, as well as calm the mind and aid in concentration. The name Kapalabhati comes from the two Sanskrit words Kapala, which means skull, and Bhati, which means to shine or illuminate. This name comes from the pranayama's ability to help cleanse our nadis, which, if you remember, are the energetic channels traveling through our body. So the name skull shining comes from that idea that we are creating this sort of cleansing heat within the body, which creates this sort of luminous cleansing power which shines out of the skull. So some of the benefits of this practice, as I already mentioned, it's meant to cleanse both the energetic body as well as the physical body. It can help cleanse the respiratory system. This technique also works and tones the lower abdominal muscles. Kapalabhati also helps to energize and build heat, which can be useful in a yoga sequence. And this technique can also help aid in digestion. So Kapalabhati is considered an intermediate to advanced pranayama technique. So it's best to try other simpler methods before going into Kapalabhati. The reason is because we are actually sort of changing the order of the inhale being the dominant part of the breath. We're switching that over to the exhale being the main focus here. So you're actually going to be sort of forcing the exhale through short, powerful muscular contractions of the lower belly. And in doing so, your inhale will become passive. So it will happen all on its own. We're going to give this technique a try. As I mentioned before, this is a more advanced pranayama technique. So if this is your first time trying pranayama, pause right now and please go back and try some of my earlier videos that will teach you sort of how to get a full breath in and sort of get you used to using your breathing muscles before you try this pranayama technique. You will thank me later, I promise. This technique is not recommended for women that are pregnant, as well as women who are on their menstruation at the moment. If you have slipped discs in your back, this is not the pranayama for you. And for a complete list of possible conditions that might not work well with this pranayama, go ahead and check out the full article, just so you can make sure that you can practice this pranayama safely and truly enjoy it and not hurt yourself, because we don't ever want that. Okay, so now to give this a try, you're going to practice Kapalabhati in a seated posture. And before we get to the breath part of this, we're going to work on just isolating the lower part of the abdomen, which is where that forceful contraction is going to come from, and therefore the breath will come from. So to do this, we're going to put the hands on the belly and sort of practice your belly dancing technique here, and just start to take little short contractions. So sort of get used to that feeling. Not really changing the breath yet, just get used to that movement. And when you start to practice this pranayama, you will want to sort of get into a rhythm, and that's what's going to continue your breath. So let's try that one more time. Okay, very good. So Next, let's just take a couple nice inhales and exhales through the nose. And when we start, you're going to use that same forceful belly contraction. Focus on forcing out that exhale and try not to do anything to inhale. As you push the belly in, the space in your lungs will naturally get smaller, forcing your exhale out. When you release the belly, the space gets bigger and your inhale will flow in all by itself. So we're going to do a round of 10 breaths to start out. Inhale to begin. Take a couple rounds of breath naturally. One more. And then we'll inhale to begin one more round. This is, like I said, a little bit trickier of a pranayama technique. Just try to practice first the muscular contractions and that kind of short, forceful sucking in of the belly. It's fine to practice just this movement at first before you try to integrate the breath as well, because that can sort of complicate things if you're just new to this. So go ahead and take it slow. So today we learned about Kapalabhati Pranayama, or the skull shining breath technique. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, feel free to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and hit subscribe. And remember, you can always find more information on jivayogalive.com.